evening and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here today for our annual celebration in honor of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, which we're declaring in Woodbridge here for September. Joining me are several people from the town council. To my far left is our current council president, Howie Bauer, 2nd Ward, Ford, Solblon, and Caseby. Next to him is Councilman Greg Ficara at large. In front of him to the right is Lizbeth DeJesus, Councilwoman at large. Back to the right there in the red is Sharon McCullough, 1st Ward Councilwoman, covering Woodbridge proper and Seawarring. And tonight's MC or host of this event, 5th Ward Councilwoman Debbie Meehan, who started how many years?
Oh gosh, has to be about 16 years ago.
Really? Wow.
When we first started with Bethany.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
Bethany Ciccarelli.
yeah.
Right, okay. Let me start with, before asking Debbie to speak, Bob Hildenbrand is a father of this lovely girl in front of us here, little Julie. I don't mind if you don't mind if I call you Jules, because whenever I see you, I call you Jules. That's pretty cool, right?
Yes.
So Jules' dad, Rob, let me ask you if you'd come up and say a few words.
Hello, everybody. In December of 2017, Julie was diagnosed with brain cancer. She spent almost 9 months inpatient at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. She underwent 6 rounds of intense chemotherapy, 3 stem cell transplants, multiple surgeries, and dozens of blood transfusions. We're happy to say that Julie is now 4 years cancer-free, thanks to the incredible care she received at CHOP. The decades of research and trials that Julie benefited from have increased the overall survival rate of childhood cancer, but more work still needs to be done. Of all the money spent by the U.S. government on cancer research, only 4% goes to pediatric cancer research. It is our hope that raising awareness will result in more funding to cure this terrible disease that affects 43 new children every single day. Over the last 4 years, Team Jules has raised close to $10,000 for CHOP's annual Parkway Run, where 100% of the proceeds go directly to pediatric cancer research. We continue to raise money for this worthy cause. Please consider donating to this fundraiser by going to CHOP's Parkway Run website and searching for Team Jules, all one word. We would also like to thank the members of the Woodbridge community, starting with Councilwoman Debbie Meehan, who has supported us from the very beginning of this journey. Thank you to Mayor McCormick and the entire Town Council. Thank you to the wonderful staff at Lindcrest School 22, led by Principal Connolly, who offered the support of his school 2 years before Julie would even enroll in kindergarten there. Thank you to Lindcrest PTO and Julie's teachers, including Mrs. Gelmine, Mrs. Monaco, Mrs. Cupperton, and Mrs. Vasquez, and the entire Lindcrest staff. Thank you to Julie's Girl Scout Troop, 83340, led by Miss Janine and Miss Crystal, for their continued support. Finally, we'd like to thank the Middlesex County Sheriff's Office and the Woodbridge Police Department, as well as the Colonia, Fords, and Island Fire Departments for their support over the last few years. Thank you to everyone who came out today, as Woodbridge continues to go gold every September for pediatric cancer awareness.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Robert. Now I'd like to ask Councilwoman Debbie Meehan if you'll say a few words before we turn it over to the star of the show.
I'll be brief because she is the star of the show. I met Jules and her family 6 years ago when Julie was first diagnosed with cancer, and it's been really such a journey to watch their family and the community pull together to support her, her family, and everybody else, all the children that go through cancer. It's such a hard thing on families, and to have the community love that they have here in Woodbridge Township has been amazing. And I'm so glad to be here tonight to raise the flag, and just want to give out a shout to Bethany, who really is one of the first children I met with cancer, and I watched her along her journey, and now she is cancer-free and in college and doing really well. So just thank you for coming out today. Thank you for supporting all these children with cancer, and I'm going to turn it over to the star of the show.
Thank you for all coming. My name is Julie Hildebrand, and I'm 8 years old, and I'm in 3rd grade. I have been cancer-free for 4 years now. I am lucky that I have survived cancer because some people do not survive. I have a lot of doctors and nurses at CHOP who helped me. I am so happy to be here celebrating Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. If you would like to help kids like me, please go to my Team Jules Parkway Run page. All the money goes to CHOP, which will help fight a cure. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. That was terrific. You're one brave young lady. You know that? Everything you went through, and you can come out here with a smile and talk about it. That is remarkable. So remember when I read to your class, remember that boy? What was his name? Grant something? Grant Matthew. Yeah, remember him? Every time I was talking to you, he kept talking. Remember? You're going to see him tomorrow? Say, the mayor said hello. All right, tell Grant Matthew the mayor said hello. Is he still in your class?
Yes.
Cool, all right. So now what I want you to do, between your dad and Debbie, we read everything that's on the proclamation, but I want you to hold the proclamation, and we're going to take a whole bunch of pictures. Hello and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here tonight for really two reasons: to recognize the Officer of the Quarter for the Woodbridge Police Department, the best police department in the state of New Jersey, and to welcome a new officer to the ranks of the best police department in the state. Let me start by introducing our council. To my far right, Councilman at Large Greg Ficarra. To his left, Councilwoman Sharon McAuliffe from the First Ward of Woodbridge proper and Seawarren. To her left, Councilwoman Lisbeth De Jesus, Councilwoman at Large. To her left, Debbie Meehan, Fifth Ward Councilwoman covering Colonia. And to her left, current Council President Howie Bauer, Second Ward, Fords, Hope Lawn, and Caseby. To my left are the three people who lead the Woodbridge Township Police Department: Director Bob Hubner, Deputy Director Joe Niski, and Chief Law Enforcement Officer Scott Kuzma. So we're going to start with the swearing in of Officer Justin Michael Henriquez. So if you'd please come up. I just want to say a little about Justin. I've known him for a long time, since he was, I don't know, 10 or 11 or 12 in Mayor's Trophy basketball games, when he was always in the finals, and Craig and I call these games. And this is why it matters. If there's kids watching this, this is why it matters what you do when you're a kid. Because if you are a good kid at 10, 11, 12 years old, and it's going to carry with you. And I saw him play. He was, first of all, really good, but a sportsman, a gentleman, never a problem on the court, never an issue with him, and I can't say that about all the kids he played with. But I was just always impressed by him. You and I talked after a bunch of games just about, you know, everything, and I thought this is a good kid. So he comes to us now for the alternative route program, where we have total discretion. I mean, you come through the civil service system, you're on the list, we have to consider you. The alternate route program, we don't. We just get resumes, we get letters, and when I saw Justin Henriquez, I said, absolutely, we got to get him in here and see what we can do. And sure enough, he's here today joining the Woodbridge Police Department. I think it's a great story. It does matter what you do when you're a kid, because here, if he was not that good of a young man, he probably wouldn't have made it past that first letter to the mayor's office. So I want to congratulate him on being that kind of person, that when the name Justin Henriquez showed up on my desk, boom, he was already at second base. He was already being considered, and he got a great head start because of who he was 10, 12 years ago, and he's here today joining the best police department in the state. Mr. Mitch, please swear in Justin. Oh, let me read his resume first, I'm sorry. Woodbridge Police Officer Justin Michael Henriquez, 26, was born in Rahway, grew up in the Avenel section of Woodbridge Township, and currently resides in Woodbridge proper. Officer Henriquez attended the Woodbridge Township school system and graduated Woodbridge High School in 2013. Officer Henriquez graduated Rowan University with a BA in Criminal Justice in 2021 and graduated the Passaic County Police Academy Basic Special II Police Training Course in August 2019 and the Essex County Police Academy PTC Basic Police Officer Training Course in 2021. Officer Henriquez was previously employed as a police officer in Orange, New Jersey since 2019 and transferred to the Woodbridge Police Department via the Alternative Route Program. Mr. Mitch.
Do you, Justin Henry West, solemnly swear you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and you will bear faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state and the authority of the people, and will faithfully, impartially, and justly enforce all the laws and perform all the duties of the office of police officer according to the best of your ability, so help you God.
Okay, now I'd like to present the Officer of the Quarter to Police Officer Matthew Murdoch. There you are. And I'd like to read the proclamation, second quarter, April 1st to June 30th. Whereas the Woodbridge Township Police Department, nationally recognized by the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, maintains the mission to provide the highest level of public safety and commitment to the community. And whereas Officer Murdoch, a 3-year veteran of the Woodbridge Police Department assigned to the Radio Patrol Division Squad 10, has demonstrated a commitment to policing, law enforcement, and public safety through the employment of a proactive approach to include patrol activities and traffic enforcement, criminal investigation, and arrest procedures. And whereas during the second quarter, Murdoch responded to over 600 calls for service and self-initiated law enforcement-related investigation contacts, which resulted in the enforcement actions to include traffic summonses, DUI summonses, enforcement of outstanding arrest warrants, and the arrest of defendants on violations of criminal statutes. And whereas on May 10th, Officer Murdoch conducted a motor vehicle stop after observing the vehicle being operated in an erratic manner. In the course of conducting the motor vehicle stop, Officer Murdoch, utilizing training and experience, observed the rear seat passenger acting in a suspicious manner in an apparent attempt to avoid and or conceal potential illegal activities. The suspect's erratic behavior, combined with Officer Murdoch's concern for his safety and the safety of responding officers, led to a pat-down search of the suspect, which uncovered a loaded handgun. The weapon was subsequently determined to have been stolen. The suspect was arrested and charged with appropriate violations of New Jersey criminal statutes. And whereas Officer Murdoch is recognized and honored before the Woodbridge Police Department, peers and community, and family for his dedication to duty and professionalism, and is hereby named Police Officer of the second quarter of 2022. That could have ended very, very badly if this guy wasn't on his game and alert and aware and paying attention, and he saw it. How many other guys were with you by the time you found that?
We had quite a number,
what?
4 or 6.
Okay, so he could have not only saved his own life, he could have saved lives of other police officers that he was working with that day. What a tremendous job, Officer Murdoch. Congratulations. There is one thing I wanted to pass along a message from Councilman Brian Small, who couldn't be here for the 5 o'clock pre-ceremony. He'll be here for the meeting. He reminded me, he wanted to mention that he coached both these young men in baseball, and he's thrilled that both have one officer a quarter, one a brand new police officer. He said he loves both of these guys. He said Henriquez used to hit the ball so darn far over everything. Where is it? Where'd he go? Oh, there you are, right there. Is that true? You had game? So anyway, just wanted to relay his congratulations. So this award for heroic and life-saving action is presented to Deputy Director Joseph Niski, Woodbridge Township Police Department. Whereas the Woodbridge PD accredited, I've read all that before, on Saturday, August 6, 2022, at approximately 23:45 hours, the Woodbridge Police Department Communications Dispatch was notified of a fire at 34 Princeton Avenue in the Colonie section of Woodbridge Township. Coincidentally, Deputy Director Joseph Niski, a close neighbor to 34 Princeton, was alerted to the disturbance at approximately 2200 hours, and notwithstanding clad only in his favorite Scooby-Doo pajamas, you can explain that later, immediately sprang into action, running toward the neighbor's residence and into the conflagration to render aid. And whereas Niski then assisted in the safe evacuation of the residents, 53-year-old husband and wife and 83-year-old mother, to await the arrival of the Colonia Fire Department, police officers, and emergency medical personnel. And upon arrival to the scene, officers Hendricks and Manzini determined that there was an active vehicle fire in the driveway, which additionally caused fire and heat damage to the front of the residential structure. Officers Hendricks and Manzini deployed firefighting procedures and further assisted in locating the family and bystanders to a safe location. And whereas as a result of Deputy Director Joe Niski's 30-plus years experience and training as a Woodbridge Police Department officer and first responder, combined with his close proximity to the residential emergency and his rapid and effective response, the scene was secured and there were no injuries to the family or neighborhood community. And whereas Deputy Director Joe Niski is hereby recognized for his dedication to public safety and honored before members of the Woodbridge Police Department, fellow officers, community, and family. So Joe has been up here with me, I can't tell you how many times in the last 15-plus years, giving awards to officers under his leadership with Bob Hubner and Scott Kuzma to people who saved lives. And now he's here today as the recipient of an award himself for saving somebody's life. If he didn't act quick and get out there and evacuate the people from the fire, especially an 83-year-old, who knows what might have happened. Ladies and gentlemen, there's probably people alive today because Joe Niski acted quick and proper and used all his training and experience to save people's lives. Congratulations, Deputy Director Joe Niski.
So I didn't tell anyone about that, so it's either Manzini or the director, but I really do appreciate the mayor, the town council, the police department. It's really nice to get this. It's not necessary, but I was just happy to be in the right place at the right time. And fortunately, the fire company got there, put the fire out pretty quickly. And I am glad I beat Manzini there, because he's usually the one getting the awards. So. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Care to explain Scooby-Doo?
Well, it was a little worse than Scooby-Doo. It was my Jets pajamas. All right, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Joe is joined by his wife, by his son, who's a police department, and his son's wife, and his granddaughter, and his other son, and his daughter. So we have the whole Niski clan here. Now I'd like to call on Police Director Hubner. We were busy tonight with all these awards and swearing-ins. Let's talk about the Woodbridge PD.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. First, I'd like to congratulate both recipients. I've known Matt Murdoch when he was in high school. Really good kid. He was a little surprised when he came on the police department, but glad he did, because he carried over what he had in high school here. Does an outstanding job. Justin, welcome aboard. You're going to get the opportunity to work with some of the best and brightest men and women, excuse me, men and women in law enforcement. You're going to work for a department that's fully funded because of the mayor and his administration. You have a council that supports you. So good luck on a long, safe career.
Now's your chance to stick it to Niski. Come on up.
So I'm always have been and will always continue to be very proud of our police department, because they do have the best men and women. But what Joe did shows that it goes from the top to the bottom. Everybody works together and they never forget that they are here to service our community. Thank you, Officer Murray, for what you did. Justin, welcome aboard. And like I always say to anybody that I see on the road, stay safe. And again, they're a testament of their families. Justin has his family here. Officer Murdoch has his family here. And these are kids that grew up in Woodbridge. And this is what our township is about. It's about staying connected and serving our community. So again, God bless all of you. Thank you for the service. Thank you for serving our community. And stay safe out there. Congratulations.
Assemblyman from the 19th District, Craig Coughlin, who is also currently the Assembly Speaker of the entire state of New Jersey. Every year for, I guess, about the last 12 years? 12 years, he has had a Bowl for Hunger event in Woodbridge Township, and he involves 5 towns he represents: Woodbridge, Carteret, Sayreville, South Amboy, and Perth Amboy. It's a wonderful event. It grows every year, and he's here tonight to present a check to Peter Barcelona, which, if you're a frequent watcher of TV 35, you know he is the guy behind our food drives. He works in our health department. He's the one that gets the food from the donors to the donees, and just does a wonderful job. So I'm going to turn it over to Craig and to Peter to talk about their great event and the great result they had.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you everybody for coming out, and members of the council being with you. Congratulations to the officers who were honored here this evening, and to Officer Robert Enriquez. Live up, be safe, and have a wonderful career. As the Mayor pointed out about 13 years ago when I started in the Assembly, I wanted to do something that would help people in a way that was not legislatively uniquely legislatively, and so we began a Bowl for Hunger, which is designed to help people who suffer from food insecurity. One in 8 New Jerseyans suffer from food insecurity. Too many of them are children. They go to bed hungry each night. It's something that we have taken on the fight, and I'm incredibly proud of the work that we've done at the state level. We're the first in the nation food insecurity advocate. We've committed tens of millions of dollars over the course of time to fight this challenge, because it affects people of all races, all creeds, all sizes and shapes, genders. We're very fortunate here in Woodbridge to have Peter Barcelona, who heads up the We Feed program and oversees the 12 food pantries here in the township. So each year we raise money. This year we raised a little over $30,000, and that gets divided evenly among 25 food pantries throughout the district. And I'm here tonight on behalf of everybody who worked so hard to raise the money. I give the credit to other people who work really hard. It's a perfect system. That was a joke. But it's my pleasure to present to Peter on behalf of the Bowl for Hunger Committee a check for $15,600.
That's a wrap. Thank you.
Please rise to salute to our flag and remain silent for a moment of silence for all military personnel serving here and abroad. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
Notice requirements of the open public meeting law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The annual notice was published in the Home Tribune and Star Ledger on December 10, 2021. A copy of the schedule was posted on the municipal bulletin board, and it should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Spiller, Councilwoman Meehan, Councilman Patel, Councilman Anderson.
Here.
Councilwoman De Jesus.
Here.
Councilman Small. Councilwoman McCullough.
Here.
Vice President Ficarra.
Here.
And President Bauer.
Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from August 23rd?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with the second reading ordinances this evening, we're going to take letter A first, which is an ordinance approving the traffic signal installation at the intersection of Mount Hollow Road and Ann Terrace Drive in Woodbridge. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on this ordinance only. Hearing no other comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed and order to be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll take letter B, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 7, which is our traffic ordinance of the revised ordinance of the Township of Woodbridge. Letter B, can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter B only. There are no comment from the public. Can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed, the ordinance be adopted, submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And letter C is an ordinance amending the 2021 revised agreement between the member municipalities and the RBSA. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and a public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter C only. There are no comment from the public. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted, and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Ordinances under first reading, letters D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, and N. Can I get a motion that these ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home Distribution on September 16, 2022, with notice of public hearing to be held on October 3rd, 2022, at 6 p.m.
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Excuse me, Council President. I want to abstain from letter K.
Any other comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And under resolutions, Mr. President, before you are 29 items listed as 1 through 29. Can I get a motion by consent to approve those 29?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I just want to point out, resolution number 2 is the appointment of Jenny Perez Rosado, a member of the Housing Authority for a number of years. She served with great distinction on that board, and I'd like to recognize that she's in the audience tonight, if you'll all join me in giving her a round of applause. Thank you, Mr. President. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
I'm going to abstain from number 29.
Any other comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Mitch. At this time, we'll go to the public portion of our meeting. If you come to the microphone, please state your name, part of the township or state you are from. You have a one-time 5-minute time period. All video taking must be taken within a designated area in the rear of the room. There will be no shouting out from your seat. Please respect each other, and please make sure all signs or posters do not block any walkways. Thank you.
Any comments from the public this evening?
Good evening, Kathy Cucci from 80 Cutter Shop Road here in Woodbridge. I've been here several times over the past few years, and it's regarding the truck traffic on our street. It is getting extremely out of control. I had the honor of meeting Ms. McAuliffe in April, who came to my house, and we discussed some problems. I was told in, I believe, an email in June that the only thing going on over that bridge is containers being stored. If that's the case, my question is, why are there more prime trucks going back and forth, new car carriers with brand new cars and trucks on it, box trucks with different company names, tractor trailers, tankers, and this is all 24/7. This morning, I got up for work at 4 o'clock. The traffic was unbelievable. Also, where the AA tree service was, that company moved out, 3 companies moved in. There's a box truck company that is called 5 Star, there's Gallagher, and there's a signage truck company that has the big signs that go out for construction on the roads. Recently, next to Gallagher's brand new building, there's buses being stored, there's trucks being stored, there's cars being stored. We have prime trucks that are being towed from over the bridge, and we have prime trucks that are being towed over the bridge. So my question is this, is there any way, and I know there's redevelopment because that's what I was told down the long run, but is there any way we can do something about this 24-hour, 7 days a week traffic? I don't think that with the nicer weather coming, I have to keep my windows closed so I can hear my TV and sleep at night.
Director Darden, do you have any answers to these questions? Is there a limit of gross vehicle weight on that street, or is it what is it zoned at that area, Cutter's Dock? Director.
I don't believe there is such a limit, but we'll certainly, as we always do when Ms. Fucci appears here, we will certainly review all of her comments. I made notes as to all of the comments she made, and we'll see what we can do to get as many answers as possible. That's what we can do.
I mean, it's getting worse. It was bad because, as you know, probably 10 years I've been fighting this. But it seems like over the since I met with Ms. McCall probably in April, it's just overwhelming. And like I said, the nicer weather is coming. I can't keep my windows open. We can't even hear the TV because it's non-stop. So I would appreciate it if we can look into it, come with some. I mean, the speed is, they're not doing 25. Now with the martial arts building opening, we have children getting out of cars. A kid runs across that street, their history, because they're not familiar with the area, and it's dark at 7:30 now, and I believe they're open till 8. So there's a lot of factors in this, but try and get my neighbors here is impossible. But you know, they'll all yes me to death in these backyards, but I can't get anybody to come in. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you. We'll look into your request. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
Shirley Almeida, 113 James Street, Hopewell, New Jersey. Calling regarding Delina Manor. It's out of control. I would love to see more police presence around that area in the evening. I know that marijuana has been legalized, but we shouldn't have to tolerate non-tenants sitting in their cars with the stuff coming into our windows. Number 3, too many people off of leases. Number 4, we moved to a senior residence. But commonplace for that building is screaming babies, crying babies, and there's been nothing really in place to keep that building under control. And most importantly, and I did send an email to the mayor, we've already had a fire. And I'm not sure why the management company is not pushing forward to now ban incense, because the building reeks of it. And something really needs to be done to oversee that building, because literally we're suffering in there. You know, and there's no conflict resolution. You don't get answers, not complete answers. We have an extreme problem with visitors continuing to park on the lot. We're out of parking spaces. We're not allowed to call the tow company. They have to call the property manager. It's just too much. We're at an age now we're supposed to be enjoying life, not fighting these battles.
Thank you. That's actually my award, and it's the first time I'm hearing about it.
Thank you.
I did write down all your complaints, and we'll look into it.
We invite you. We have a beautiful community room. There's a lot of tenants that's elderly, that are homebound, that can't get to these meetings. So we welcome your coming out and visit with us anytime.
Okay, I definitely will. I grew up on James Street all my life, until now, when I was a child. But yes, thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
Hi, my name is Kathy Tanko, Hope Lawn. I live at Delina Manor also. And as you know, it's 55 and older. And we need to do something about cable. Cable is very expensive, and we're all seniors, and it just keeps going up, and we have no choice but to take Comcast or an Xfinity. We can't go to another cable company. And I don't think it's fair. Most of the people sit in their apartments all day and watch television, and they can't afford it. They're all dropping cable.
Mayor, Corey's on the Cable Commission, right, Councilman Spiller, but he's not here tonight. I know they go out to bid every so many years on a cable company.
Yeah, we go out every 3 years, and the only responder is always Comcast.
So the issue right now is not the issue, but when we do put it out for bid, the only one that bids on it is Comcast.
Really?
Xfinity, yes.
Well, I don't like that answer, but
I mean, I could reach, Councilman Spiller's not here, he's on the Cable Commission. I could reach out to him and get back to you and see, why we're not getting any other bidders.
Yeah, Verizon actually said that they would disallow from blindly any of this properties.
yeah, we need to have a choice because it's going up too much for these senior citizens.
Okay, well, like I said, I'll meet with Councilman Spiller and I'll get back to you on it. Before you leave, can I have your phone number or email address?
Sure.
Thank you.
I have one other question.
Yes.
Why can't we have a zip code for Hopewell, New Jersey?
Mayor, we've been trying.
We've been trying for that for many years. It's probably not going to happen, but we do try. We're actually working, that's one issue. I think the more important issue where we might make some success is through the Department of Banking and Insurance in the state, that we can have them notify every insurance carrier for homeowners and auto insurance that you could have an 08861 zip code, and then the carriers think you live in Perth Amboy, but you don't. You live in Hopelon, which is a different dynamic and a different demographic. And we're trying to make them have a way to tell that you live in Hopelon, and therefore your rates for both home and auto insurance would be a lot cheaper. If the zip code changed, that'd be it. It'd be over. But I don't see that happening. This Hopelon's not that big. It's just like Menlo Park Terrace that shares a zip code with Metuchen. I don't see that changing either, but we do want to try to help you financially, and we've been back and forth with the state. They've not been terribly responsive. Just today I talked to Craig's office and said we're going to go to the governor's office next and see if we can get some relief. That's really the issue, is you want to save money on the insurances you pay.
Yeah, my insurance went up $400 when I moved to Delina Manor from Island. My car insurance, and I kept telling them I don't live in Perth Amboy. They didn't want to hear it.
Well, we're working on that.
Okay, I hope you work soon. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
Good evening, everyone. James Dabrowski, Woodbridge proper. The Perth Amboy Area Branch, NAACP, would like to thank everyone who came out on August 17th to the inspiring environmental justice rally held right here outside Woodbridge Town Hall. We called on Governor Murphy and his Department of Environmental Protection to deny the air permits needed by the Competitive Power Ventures Corporation to build yet another massive dirty fossil fuel power plant in our overburdened environmental justice community. It was mentioned how in July at the NAACP National Convention, our nation's oldest and largest civil rights organization voted to pass a resolution calling for the end of all fossil fuel infrastructure, exploration, and extraction. Our Perth Amboy Area Branch NAACP President, Reverend Donna Stewart, closed our August 17th rally by leading us in prayer, blessing the members of the caravan who had began up in Newark and were passing through Woodbridge on their 5-day, 50-mile march down to Red Bank as part of a series of actions called Governor Murphy, Walk Your Talk on Climate. An August 18th Woodbridge Patch article reported on the rally, where a spokesman for the Competitive Power Ventures Corporation, CPV's Senior Vice President Tom Rumsey, tried to dismiss our cause and to defend his company's desire to build a second fossil fuel power plant in Caseby. This proposed project would be the third fossil fuel power plant in Woodbridge, which has been identified as overburdened under New Jersey's landmark environmental justice law. Additionally, it was brought to our attention that Tom Rumsey had shared a photo of himself on social media wearing a disgustingly Islamophobic shirt that reads, "72 virgins, huh? Well then, let's get these boys laid." I wonder if CPV feels the same way about Muslims as their senior vice president does, or if our Woodbridge leadership is okay with such vile Islamophobia. As was brought to your attention last meeting, The August 14th Indian Independence Day parade that ran down Oak Tree Road through Edison and the Island section of Woodbridge included a bulldozer displaying banners of Islamophobic, far-right, Hindu nationalist politicians. Over the past few years, bulldozers have become a symbol of hate in India, in a disturbing trend where authorities use them to demolish the homes of Muslims and other religious minorities who dare to protest the far-right Hindu nationalist government, the BJP, whose national spokesman was even invited to the parade to preside over the parade here in town as its Grand Marshal. Several human rights groups, as well as the United Nations, have called for an end to these bulldozing attacks, condemning them as openly discriminatory and a violation of international human rights laws. Edison Mayor Sam Joshi swiftly denounced the Islamophobic act, saying, "I understand a bulldozer is a symbol of division and is absolutely unacceptable. There is no place for that in Edison Township. I would like to see an apology from the Indian Business Association, the organizers of the parade." On our last council meeting on August 23rd, only one of you, Councilman Patel, denounced the hateful act, saying, "It was very deplorable. I strongly condemn this myself." A September 2nd Woodbridge Patch article went on to describe how, at the council meeting, Mayor McCormick was asked if he too condemned the bulldozer, and he refused to do so, saying he needed to hear from all sides. He told Patch he will be issuing a statement on the bulldozer controversy next week. Well, it's been over a week, and the Perth Amboy Area Branch NAACP, which issued a statement last month, is hoping Mayor McCormick is finally ready to issue his statement and stand against hatred in our community. You know, I was at the South Plainfield Council meeting last week, just one day after the white supremacist group New Jersey European Heritage Association crashed the South Plainfield Labor Day Parade, carrying a banner that read, "Defend American Labor, Close the Border, European Heritage Association." It was a breath of fresh air to see the South Plainfield mayor and council so swiftly denounce the hate group. They didn't need to hear from all sides. When I told them about the Proud Boys repeatedly targeting Woodbridge public meetings and the McCormick administration repeatedly refusing to condemn the hate group, they couldn't believe it because it's just absolutely unacceptable. Same with this Islamophobic bulldozer. Council President Bauer, could you please ask our mayor if he is now ready to issue a statement denouncing this act of hatred against our Muslim community members?
Mayor, do you have a comment?
No, thank you.
It's been over a week, Mayor McCormick. You told Pat you were going to make a comment. Nothing? Just hoping this goes away, right? Like the Proud Boys? Unbelievable. The Perth Amboy Area Branch NAACP firmly stands with the New Jersey chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations, the Indian American Muslim Council, Hindus for Human Rights, and all other organizations that have denounced this act of hatred against our Muslim community members. We call on Woodbridge Mayor John McCormick to join us in condemning Islamophobia and to commit to begin working with the NAACP towards anti-racism policy in Woodbridge Township. Justice for Niger Parks, justice for Jeremiah Daniels Porter, Black Lives Matter, stop the Caseby power plant, anti-racism policy now, hate has no home here.
Thank you, Mr. Dabrowski. Any other comments this evening from the public?
Good evening, Tom Maris, Fords, New Jersey. Well, yet another diatribe from good old Jimmy. Apparently he didn't watch the last meeting because I think everybody in the council denounced the fact that that bulldozer was there. And in fact, if he managed to read the paper once in a while, and as an educator, I think he hope he could at least read a paper. It was in the Star Ledger, the Home News Tribune, that the organizers of the parade did apologize for having that dozer there. And it was a sad event, and I think we all spoke out against it. So I don't know where he's coming from with his nonsense, but that's what he loves to do. Take it for what it's worth. It's coming from Jimmy. That said, I'm glad the mayor at the last meeting kind of affirmed that the Ross Street School parking lot is going to go bye-bye, and there'll be a 94-unit apartment complex going in there. I think that's quite regrettable, and I hold this council and this mayor responsible for what they're doing to the town with this overdevelopment of apartments, and I'm sure many others will as well. There are concerns that the monument right out here, because of the traffic that's building up and will be continuing to build up, is going to be moved. Perhaps at the end of this, if you care to, you can comment whether that is fact or just fiction, or just pure concern by the people that really don't know what that monument means, and hopefully it's not going to be moved for the sake of developers. One of the things that bothered me at the last meeting, and it really got me quite emotional, and I was so happy to see the turnout. And I spoke to everyone that had come to this microphone to speak to the council and to the administration. And it was very impressive. It's a shame that we have pain in this town. Somebody has to get hurt in some way, physically or mentally or emotionally, that people turn out. But when they do, they speak their hearts. And I hope you all listen to that, because it really is important. The Indian community, South Asian, if you will, we're here protesting both from the Hindi side as well as the Muslim side about what had transpired. And it's unfortunate. That's a situation that is horrific in India, but it's not here. And we don't want it here. We don't need to bring it here. We don't need to bring outside country issues here divide us. We don't need to be divided. We are one nation. And we've learned that's what makes us. That's why everybody wants to come here, because we are the melting pot. And we want to keep it that way. But I was particularly, if I can, very troubled by Carl Anderson's comments when he turned around and after Paul Lund had spoken about his concerns about what's going on in the education system. Mr. Lund had to make it a racial issue by saying, well, I didn't know about certain things that went on in the past in Oklahoma or in Florida, and I want my money back because my education, why don't I get that back? Well, how much would you like, 2 cents? Or how did that harm you in any way from progressing in your career, not knowing that, if you're correct, only 2 years ago? I'm talking about Oklahoma. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do.
I'm not asking you a question right now. I'm making a statement. And you can answer it when my time's up. If you choose, then you can go. Right?
Take your time, sir. You don't have to give me instructions on how to do it.
Good. You do, because you interrupt all the time.
No.
I watch the tapes sometimes.
Great.
So anyway, how much do we owe you, and how harmed were you? Because you seem to you've done very successfully in being a drug salesman, and now doing what you do, being on the town council. So I'd really like to know how that lack of information harmed you, and why you had to bring that into the conversation. Because it was not germane in any way, shape, or form. You had to bring in CRT, DEI. That was what that man was talking about. He was talking about sex education of 5-year-olds, 5-year-old or 5th graders. That had no place. You just had to interject it, though, didn't you?
It's a part of his argument.
Thank you. Go ahead. Enjoy yourself.
Council President?
Yes.
I just need to respond. So I'm not going to continue to argue the comprehensive and physical education health that should be handled at a Board of Education meeting. However, my comments to Mr. Lund were actually quite appropriate, because Mr. Lund, in his response was right away, as you heard sarcastically, and as you pointed out to Mr. Dombrowski, you're surprised that he's the teacher. Well, Mr. Lund's comment and his sarcasm, and what? Is it about slavery? You know? So when you have a teacher like that, and if that's their feeling toward another student of a diverse background, yeah, I'm concerned about that. All right? So when it comes to comprehensive and physical education health, it has 1 and 1. Those are what your arguments. You don't want to hear about CRT. All right? You don't want to hear about that. You don't want to hear about our feelings. So when I bring that up to him, and that was his response, that was what I was seeking. And I got the response that I was looking for.
Great. It is my question.
Any other comments this evening from the public?
Mr. Lund, Hope Lund. If I was sarcastic and snarky, that's not where I want to be coming from. The reason we have parental rights rallies is really to defend parental rights, which are under assault. The reason we may come off angry or snarky at times is we feel that the whole country is under assault. It's ironic to me that you still pledge allegiance to the flag, to a inherently, irredeemably racist nation. At least that's what your CRT peers feel. I wasn't raised that way. My parents were both World War II veterans, mom in the waves, dad in the Army and Pacific Theater. He helped found the Hope Lund VFW. I grew up around these veterans, and I can tell you that they didn't fight for a country that was systemically racist. I think most people are decent people. I think most people have a heart not to harm people, but to help people. And I think the U.S. is one of the most generous nations that have ever been placed on the face of the earth. Now, I can talk about CRT and statistics. I could talk about the violence that's going on in the inner cities because of bail reform. We could talk about all the problems that are real out there, not the ones you're creating. But I want to stick to the subject of sex education. New Jersey State Department of Education just came out where a child can decide what gender they are and not have the parents informed. I'm going to read exactly from this new guideline. School districts shall accept the student's asserted gender identity. And that's regardless, I assume, since they bring up gender identity by grade 2, it's regardless of age. Parental consent is not required. Further, a student need not meet any threshold diagnosis or treatment requirements, meaning they don't have to have any clinical or professional confirmation that that is indeed what has been up until recently a rare mental disorder according to the DSM-5, which is a Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of the American Psychiatric Association. And believe me, as a Christian, I have nothing but compassion for anyone who is dysphoric, feels they're in the wrong body. But I'm saying that there is an age that's appropriate to really address these issues, and I think a lot of it is indoctrination. You're planting seeds from a young age about being dysphoric. I mean, every teen is dysphoric to some extent about the body. Puberty is not an easy thing, but 80–90% of children, it gets resolved naturally without intervention with chemicals, pharmaceuticals, without intervention with surgery, double mastectomies of young teens. This is outrageous. Let me read on. Nor is there a legal or court-ordered name change required. There's no affirmative duty whatsoever for school district personnel to notify a student's parent or guardian of the student's gender identity or expression. There may be instances where a parent or guardian of a minor student disagrees with the student regarding the name and pronoun to be used at school and in the student's education records. A parent or guardian may object to the minor student's name change request. However, school districts should consult their board attorney regarding the minor student's civil rights and protections. From whom? Their parents? This is outrageous. You folks, I don't believe you're ideologues. I don't believe you think it's right to teach second graders that there's 72 gender identities, that it's right to teach, revise history and make us out to be the most racist nation on earth. I know you know better. And if you're just going along to get along because you've got your perks and being in politics, shame on all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Lund.
Any other comments this evening from the public?
I just want to say, Mr. Lund, I accept your apology that you gave to me 3 times out in the hallway. However, I was at the barber shop the other day and I found your notes for your last tirade at that meeting, and it was actually scripted. It was scripted.
Mr. Lund, your time's up. Mr. Lund,
I have the notes.
Thank you.
There you go.
Outrageous.
John Bertari, Woodbridge. Well, like people say, worse is still to come. We cannot expect teachers to teach something they don't know about it. We can expect from politicians because they don't know what bulldozing is. They don't know what it's done to the people. We used to call where I came from, to get rid of them, destroy the nest, like a birds. And that's what all those things means. And that's a lot, because we're minority, Muslim minorities over here. We cannot have that happen in the United States of America. If they want to do the things in foreign countries, let them do it, but we cannot allow it to happen over here. I went to the Indian parade almost every year, and they changed it this time. Never before anybody did such a stupid thing what they did this year. And again, let's stop it, because if let one other nationalities, other peoples would do the same thing, and then we really got problems. But let's move to something else. What considers Woodbridge, people in Woodbridge, as you heard before, we got traffic problem, we got school problems, overcrowded schools, not enough schools. There's a talk about it, that 45 schools will never be built on the same spot where on the Rove Avenue. I don't know how true it is or not. My question would be, if you're not allowed to build it there because it's contaminated soil, I believe, what happened to us 15 years ago, so even more, at the Woodbridge Community Center, we had the same situation. They're supposed to build a family golf center, and the company went bankrupt, it was contaminated, and we took it over. My question would be to the mayor, if the school is not being built there, what else is suitable to build at the same spot? One thing. It's going to be a warehouse or apartments, which is, I know it's a different cleanup is for different businesses. But again, roads, traffic, that's a problem, a big problem. Let's face it, I keep saying it for many, many years. A lot of you know that what's going to happen. I knew it's going to happen. I didn't think it's going to happen so fast. What people in Woodbridge and C1, this area, finally realized that, and unfortunately it's sad. We talk about Avonell years ago back, we talk about other towns. People right in this town didn't give a damn because it wasn't Woodbridge proper. It came home. We got our problems. It's not about the complaints about the traffic, schools overcrowded. I understand Woodbridge High School's got over 2,000 kids now. Where those kids came from, we know where they came from. It's beautiful to come to this school, to this town, but we're not ready to cope with it yet. Traffic is not right, roads are not right, we are overcrowding, and we're doing enough to handle it. So that's the thing that we gotta worry about it. How are we gonna handle it from now on? And everything was talk about it, to do everything else to improve the Main Street business. And I don't see nothing positive happen in Main Street business that talk about open restaurants here and open restaurants there. Unfortunately, not too many people even can afford to eat those restaurants. They are not restaurants for the people who's going to get welfare check or they're going to get an unemployment check. That's a hand class. I don't see any kind of improvements. But again, let's change it, that's enough. People are speaking and you know about it, what's happening. Traffic, you name it, we got a problem. And again, it's all of us fault because we had to let it happen. We've seen the signs all over the state, all over every town, every city. They did what we're doing now. What happened to them? You know, Jersey City is one thing, goes to New York City, they can redo it. But what are you going to do with a town like Woodbridge or those other areas? How are we going to improve our life of life? You cannot do it by building warehouses. You cannot do it by building all those things that are not making money. Oh, it's making money, yeah, for the people when they build them and then they're gone. Our taxes didn't go down. Our crime went up. Everything is nothing positive. I'm serious. One thing is positive. And Mary keeps saying
Fatarik, your 5
the
minutes
best
is up.
time around.
Mr. Fatarik.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments this evening from the public?
I didn't really have time. I didn't really have time to write a speech, but I just had.
Excuse me, could you please state your name and the part of the township you're from?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. My name's Kayla. I didn't have time to write a speech, but just a few things that I hope you guys would work on. We need to expand protection for abortions. We're already not meeting the need for the people in New Jersey, and now we're going to have abortion refugees. We need a moratorium on air pollution permits. We need to stop the power plant that's starting. Global warming is so bad. We have hot tarmac. We have tarmac in Texas that is already melting. We have roofs sliding off, and more than 700,000 people in New Jersey alone have asthma. The last thing we need is more air pollution. Last time I was here, somebody mentioned that we need more police stations. I would just like to say he does not speak for everybody. We do not want more police. In fact, we want them to be defunded. We want that money spent on programs that would actually help people. I have never seen so many homeless people within my own community. I need to know that we are going to be helping these people instead of sweeping them off the streets and then building more luxury apartments that people already cannot afford. We are in a housing crisis. There's no space for any new, unfilled, and poorly made luxury apartments. Another thing I didn't expect to address was critical race theory taught in schools. It's not a revisionist history, it's just a telling of the real history of what happened in America. I know we would like to believe we're all just one happy family, but there's a lot of history that really needs to be taught in these schools. You know, I'll just end it there.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments this evening from the public?
Just remember, when you come to the microphone, just please state your name and the part of the township, or state your firm. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Nina Knight, 102 Green Street. Just so happened, I'm actually on the resolution today, which is ironic. I just had a couple situations and things I hope that you guys are actually working on. Green Street between St. George and the train station. I've only been living in 102 Green Street for a month and a half. It's an accident there every single day. It's either at the intersection of Green and Amboy, right in the middle of Green Street and Tisdale, which is currently where my home is, and right by the train station. Me being a retired police officer, I feel as though there should be some type of speed bumps because they're actually doing all the gas lines on Green Street right now. Probably when they go to repave, maybe they should put speed bumps or the little, I forgot what they actually call them in regards to similar to spike strips. Because when I tell you, if they ran radar out there, them cars be flying. When I say flying, they be going like 60, 70 miles an hour. And I used to do radar. Maybe they need to have a patrol car out there. I'm not really sure, but accidents every day, at least 3, 4. And y'all could do look at the comp stats. I see Mr. Nolan's up there. You're with the law enforcement department. During the comp stat meetings, you guys gotta see the records of the accidents. It's like, my thing is I just want to know, is there anything on the books in regards to the speed limit, or you guys have anything in place to like stop the accidents from occurring? That's just my main concern.
I'd have to ask Mr. Nolan. I'm not Mr. Nolan.
Oh, okay, so you're sitting right there, whoever is
No, I'm from his office.
Oh, okay, okay. That's just my main concern in town.
Thank you very much. We'll look into your request. Have they reached out to you at all about this issue, or is this the first time knowing it?
No, that whole intersection and everything there is all in process to get redone, and that whole program for 2023 that's going to redo the whole thing, because that is a big issue in that area. So I know that it's not going to happen tomorrow, but I know that they are working on it.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening? There are no other comment. Can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, this time we'll go to our agendas. My agenda's in order. I have a bunch of announcements tonight. Our upcoming makeup concert, our summer concerts that were canceled or are being made up. Tuesday, September 13th, Best of the Eagles, 7:30 p.m. at Woodbridge High School. Wednesday, September 14th, B Street Band, 7:30 p.m. at Woodbridge High School. Monday, September 19th, Beatlemania again, 7:30 p.m. at Woodbridge High School. Tuesday, September 20th, ELO Tribute Band, 7:30 p.m. at Woodbridge High School. And Thursday, September 22nd, Black Rose, 7:30 p.m. at Herbert Rankin Park across from Moby Dick's. Our jazz lineup coming up is Thursday, September 15th, Cadence Springs, 7 p.m. at the Woodbridge High School. Thursday, September 22nd, James Austin Jr. Quartet, 7 p.m. at Woodbridge High School. Thursday, September 29th, High and Mighty Brass Band, 7 p.m. at the Woodbridge High School. And last Thursday, October 6th, the LAO Kaiser Quartet, 7 p.m. at Woodbridge High School. Also, the Barron Art Center is going to have a fall lecture, Halloween at a Haunted History. Lecture will be presented live at the Barron Art Center Thursday, October 13th, 2022 at 7:30 p.m. Seating is limited to allow for social distancing. Reservations are essential. Call 634-0413. Ford's Boy Scout Pack 53 open house is Thursday, September 22nd from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Ford's Middle School. Their Halloween trunk or treat this year is Thursday, October 27th, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Highland Grove Youth Center in Ford's. The Ford's Business Committee Trunk or Treat Cruise Night is Monday, October 24th, 2022 from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Cypressine Paint Parking Lot, 372 New Brunswick Avenue in Ford's. And my last announcement is the Ford's Fire Company Fire Prevention Open House will be Monday, October 10th and Tuesday, October 11th from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Stop by and meet your firefighters, see exhibitions, and learn more about fire prevention. So it's open house. All our fire districts are having open house, so you'll be hearing, it'll be coming around from all our other council, my other councilmates on their times and dates for their fire prevention. That's all I have tonight. Council Vice President Vaccaro.
Thank you, Council President. Just a few things from the community center. There's an opportunity to take a tour of the state-of-the-art facility for their upcoming fall season. Pickleball will return. That's the hottest thing in the world of health and wellness now. Indoor pickleball will be included with the community membership, the WCC membership. We had over 300 participants in pickleball at the Senior Olympics this past weekend. Roller skating lessons begin this Saturday, as well as swim lessons, and also in the mini golf. We continue to keep it open through October with the haunted mini golf season. So a lot of fun family activities at the community center. Congratulations to the over 1,500 senior Olympics that participated, senior Olympians that participated this past weekend. And congratulations to the organizers, to the police, the EMS, everybody that made that happen. And also just an update, the Woodbridge Health Department, which is located over behind the library and by Woodbridge High School, has skin cancer screening on Friday, September 30th. There's a mobile unit that's coming out affiliated with St. Peter's Hospital. You do need to make reservations. You can check in at our health department. Their number is 732-855-0600, and it's extension 5024. Again, that's skin cancer screening, September 30th, and you need to make an appointment. If you don't have the number, you can always Google Woodbridge Township Health Department. Thank you, Council President. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Small.
Thank you, Council President. On my agenda, number 3, Port Reading Day will be held October 8th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Port Reading Firehouse. Number 12, National Public Lands Day, Saturday, September 24th. They're looking for volunteers from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. If you can volunteer, contact Eileen Caggiano from the Recreation Department at 732-596-4047. The Ernie Oros Woodbridge River Celebration is also Saturday, September 24th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Woodbridge Wildlife Sanctuary located off Omar Avenue in Avenel. This is a free event with food and music. Number 14, Mayor Max Cafe. The anticipated reopening is Monday, October 3rd. Number 17, the Halfway to St. Patrick's Day celebration will be held September 18th, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. behind Woodbridge High School. I ask that we, God bless our first responders, our police officers, our firefighters, our EMT, all our township workers, and God bless America. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman DeJesus.
Thank you, Council President. Item number 5, Police Community Relations. I would like to congratulate Deputy Director Niski and be recognized for his heroic act and leading by example. Congratulations also to the Officer of the Quarter, Officer Murdoch, and I would like to welcome Officer Enriquez to the department. Thank you for serving our community. Item number 8, Hispanic Heritage Month. This Saturday, September 17th, right here on Main Street, we will be celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrating from September 15th through October 15th, recognizing all of the contributions that Hispanics have made in the United States and throughout the world. Item number 10, the Free Public Library of Woodbridge. It is not too late to register for ESL classes. It will cover English conversation skills and digital literacy at the libraries. Each class will meet for 12 weeks beginning in September and ending in December. To register, please contact Literacy New Jersey at 732-906-5456. The main library will also host a discussion on Hispanic Heritage Month on Thursday, September 22nd at 7 p.m. with Kim Ruiz, Director of the Puerto Rican Association for Human Development. The library will also host a program, Paid for College Without Going Broke, for anybody that has a high school senior, on September 29th at 7 p.m. to convey information on need-based and merit-based financial aid. Parents and students will learn strategies for lowering the EFC, expected family contribution, to the new FAFSA rules, and tips for optimizing college admissions and scholarships. Again, you can contact the main library for any of that information. Also, celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month on Saturday after the festival, so you can come to the festival, learn about anything that we offer in town, enjoy some food, enjoy live music, and then that evening you can head over to Curtains to continue celebrating with us, listen to a live band, a DJ, and again, enjoy our wonderful foods and drinks. That is all that I have. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Councilman Spiller's excused tonight. Councilwoman Meehan.
Thank you, Council President. Item number 1, Inman Avenue District improvements. The poles have now been put up on downtown Colonia, down on Inman Avenue. They really look beautiful. We're going to have a clock put down on the center of town over by the Walgreens, and it will have the emblem of Colonia High School on there. We're going to get some new pole hangers, and it's just going to be a really nice improvement for downtown Colonia, which we've been waiting for. Needs a little love down there. It's going to look great for the holidays, so we're really excited about that, but just be patient as they're out there working on that. And I just have 2 items I want to save the date for. The first is our 6th annual Inman Avenue Breast Cancer Walk, which we will be having on October 15th. We'll be leaving from Colonia Middle School, and we will proceed down Inman Avenue over to Springwood Swim Club in Colonia. We will be walking in support of Karen Brock. She is a Colonia resident who is battling breast cancer and fighting very hard. And in memory of Joanne Walker, another Colonia resident who passed away last month. We invite you and your family to come out, support our cause, and all women that are fighting breast cancer and that we've lost to breast cancer. Immediately following that, we are going to, it's going to be a busy day, we're going to have an Oktoberfest. And this will be from 12, the walk leaves from 12 o'clock at Colonia Middle School. Oktoberfest starts at 12:30 immediately after, and that'll go to 6 o'clock. That will be at the Springwood Swim Club. We will be featuring live music from Revolver. We will have a beer garden, a wine garden, face painting, games, pumpkins for the kids to decorate, a lot of good stuff, a real good community day to come out. And all the proceeds from this event will go to support 13-year-old Savannah Bona of Colonia to buy a specialized bicycle. She is in a wheelchair a lot of the times, and one of the things her family wants is a bicycle so she can get some exercise with her family, and that's our cause this year. We hope you come out, have a great time, and help us support this family. Any questions, you can reach out to me at 732-382-0273, and that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Anderson.
Thank you, Council President. I first want to congratulate all of our fall sports for getting off to a great start this past week. My agenda is in order, but I do want to remind everyone about the Zaire Memorial 3-on-3 basketball tournament. This is in memory of Zaire Robinson, who was a aspiring coach in our community and also a former great student athlete. All proceeds donated to are going to be donated to the family of Zaire Robinson and a college fund for his 3-month-old son, Zane. It's a one-day event on October 1st, and it will be there will be two divisions, high school and an adult men division. All games are going to be played on the outdoor courts in Woodbridge. We're asking that teams begin to register. Please contact our recreation department. The registration deadline is approaching, and the phone number for that is 732-596-4048. Second announcement I'd like to make is on October 12th, Patriot Path Council Scouting Vala Pena will be honoring our past councilwoman Nancy Drum, who unfortunately passed away recently, and that's on Wednesday, October 12th at the and that's going to be at the Pines Manor. and you can RSVP and register online at www.ppcbsa.org/special-events. Tickets are on sale. If you're from Woodbridge, it would be a great opportunity to come and support Nancy, as she was a great public servant and she's sorely missed. And last, I just want to mention the passing of former Woodbridge High School football coach, Coach Frank Capraro. He was a longtime staple in Woodbridge Township and also a great coach throughout Middlesex County and New Jersey. I had very good relations with Mr. Capraro, Coach Capraro, as do some of the other athletes that are here on this dais. So I just want to just ask that everyone consider his family and his friends during this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Patel's excused. Councilwoman McCullough.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I do have a few announcements. Number one, events. The Fishing Derby, the 2022 Frank Gagnon Memorial Fishing Derby held at the Woodbridge Pond located on North Park Drive will be held on October 8th this year. This is a free event for all individuals 16 years and under. Log on to the Township Community Pass and scan the QR code to register. The St. James Street Fair is this weekend. St. James will be hosting their 32nd annual street fair this Saturday, September 17th from 10 to 5. There will be crafters, food vendors, demonstrations on the stage, and kids' games. Come out and enjoy the festivities. The Chamber of Commerce. On September 30th, the Chamber of Commerce will be hosting the 22nd annual Mayor's Breakfast. This year's topic is business investing in our downtowns. This event starts at 8 a.m. and will be held at the Avenel Arts Center. The Chamber of Commerce main event of the year will be held on October 19th this year. The event is the 58th Annual Chairman's Award Dinner. This prestigious fundraiser honors individuals and businesses for their contribution and dedication to create a better quality of life in and around Woodbridge Township. This year's honorees can be found on the Chamber website, and I'm proud to announce that this year and every year going forward, an individual will have the honor of receiving the Nancy Drum Spirit of Woodbridge Award in the late memory of Councilwoman Nancy Drum. You want to learn more about the Chamber of Commerce? Sign up for an after-hours event, meet local businesses, professionals, and corporate representatives. Registrations, sponsorship, and detailed information from all of these events can be found on the Chamber website. The Gallery on Main will be having extended hours this Saturday, September 17th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. They will have art demonstrations, giveaways, interactive projects, and many other things. Stop in and take a look around. Also, mark your calendars for the one-year anniversary, Autumn Artist. This will be held on October 20th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Gallery on Main Street. The Acacia Center will be hosting the Barron Arts Fest 2022 on October 8th. This event is from 12 to 4:30, and the Gallery on Main will be having an art display there. Come out and look at the beautiful art that they will have on display. The green infrastructure. The township's dual-port electric charging stations are fully operational. There are 2 located on New Street and 1 on Eleanor Place. These stations have the ability to charge up to 6 vehicles at one time. It's extremely easy through the ChargePoint app. The ChargePoint app can be downloaded through the App Store for both Apple and Android users. These chargers are in a convenient location, which makes it easy to charge your car while you dine or shop on Main Street. Lastly, I want to welcome Santori Restaurant to Seawarren. This is a Mediterranean-style restaurant, and it is located at 109 Woodbridge Avenue. They're open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. You can go on Facebook and learn more about what they have to offer. Thank you. That's all I have today.
Thank you. Mr. Mitch.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under number 1, letters A and C still remain on hold. Letter B, I'll be noting this evening as you approve the liquor store ownership change. Letter D and E still remain under review by the police department. The rest of my agenda is in order. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Hubner.
Thank you, Council President. Four traffic ordinance.
Thank you. Director Darden.
Thank you. Nothing this evening, Council President. Thank you.
Director Brew.
Thank you, Council President. We have a final change order for the 2021 million resurfacing program. Release of a surety bond for 245 East Islam Parkway in Islam, and a release of a surety bond for 249 East Islam Parkway in Islam. Thank you. My agenda is in order.
Thank you. Business Administrator Zimmaluka.
Thank you. I have a tax and sewer overpayment. I also have an agreement for various recreational, social, and cultural groups and organizations. Thank you.
Thank you. Legal?
Thank you, Council President.
Motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.